Hello, mic check. Hello, 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 mic check. Hello, hello. आलाय मबाईल मध्ये हो. हॅलो माय चेक चेक. हॅलो हॅलो माय चेक चेक. हॅलो हॅलो हॅलो. हॅलो माय चेक चेक. हॅलो हॅलो हॅलो. केलं की नाही आलं ना. समोर जा एकदम. हॅलो माय चेक चेक. हॅलो Hello, my check.
Hello. As the guest has arrived, I would request all of you to kindly rise for the guest to mark the welcome in this program. I request all the esteemed guests to kindly take their seats. Ladies and gentlemen, a pleasant good morning to one and all present in the August gathering here in Maharashtra National Law University, Aurangabad, Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar. As we have assembled here to mark the commencement of second batch of postgraduate diploma in water laws, policy and governance, in the esteemed presence of honorable guests who are on the dais, Honorable Shri Suresh Prabhuji, former Union Minister, Government of India and Member of Parliament, who has graced the occasion as the chief guest for the inaugural program of the second batch of PG Diploma in Water Management, Law and Policy and Governance. We also have with us Srimati Debashri Mukherjee, who has joined us through virtual platform. She is Secretary of Ministry of Jal Shakti, Government of India, and who has graced the occasion virtually as the guest of honor for this program. We have with us Shri Santosh Tirmanwar sir, who is Executive Director of Godavari Marathwada Irrigation Development Corporation, State Government of Maharashtra, who has graced the occasion as the guest of honor for this program. Along with that, we also have Honorable Shri Ram Bhogleji, one of the renowned industrialists from the city, who has contributed to the industrial development of the city and the region in the August gathering and this today's inauguration program of the second batch of PG Diploma on Water Law, Policy and Governance. Along with that, we also have Honorable Vice Chancellor Sir, Professor A. Lakshminath, a living regent in the field of legal education and legal research. We also have Professor Dr. Dhananjay Jadhav Sir, Honorable Registrar of the University, Maharashtra National Law University, Aurangabad, who is regarded as the support system of the university through his able leadership in the university. We have with us the Program Coordinator, Faculty of Political Science, Mr. Rao Savar Bawatkarji, who is the coordinator of this PG Diploma course on Water Law, Policy and Governance. As a tradition and culture of India, we always begin with the program by lighting lamp. So I would like to request honorable guests who are present here to kindly proceed towards lighting of the lamp. I request all the esteemed guests to kindly proceed for the lighting of lamp. As we embark on a new journey, we seek blessings of Almighty by lighting of lamp. Thank you, esteemed and honorable guests, for lighting of the lamp. As a mark of hospitality and a welcome gesture to all the esteemed guests who have graced this occasion of inaugural program of the PG Diploma course, the second edition, the second branch, we would like to felicitate and honor our esteemed guests who have graced this occasion. And in this regard, I would like to invite Honorable Vice Chancellor, sir, to kindly felicitate our chief guest of this program, Honorable Shri Suresh Prabhuji, former Union Minister and Member of Parliament currently. He's a renowned politician, a visionary, a true visionary, and a policy framer of the country. Thank you, sir, for your esteemed presence in the university. Thank you, sir, for the honor. Now, I would like to request Honorable Registrar, sir, Professor Dr. Janaji Yadav, sir, who is Registrar of the University, to kindly felicitate and welcome Shri Santosh Tiramwan, sir. Santosh Tiramwan, sir, is the Executive Director of Godavari Marathwada Irrigation Development Corporation, Government of Maharashtra, one of the key persons in the government ensuring the preservation of water resources through the machinery of the government. So we would like to honor your presence, sir, in the university. Thank you, sir, for the honor. Now I would like to request Professor Subramaniam, sir, who is Dean of Research Wing of the university, to kindly felicitate Shri Ram Bogleji, one of the renowned industrialists in the city, who has contributed to all the organizations through CSR activities, including the Maharashtra National University Aurangabad. His constant support is very cherishing and in long run will help us in building the institution. Sir, please. Thank you, sir, for the honor. We would like to, as Shri Debashri Mukherjee, madam, who is Honorable Secretary of Ministry of Jal Shakti, Government of India, has joined virtually. So, as a mark of respect, we would like to acknowledge the esteemed presence of ma'am. Thank you, ma'am, for joining here. We could not felicitate you in person, but definitely when we get occasion in person, we will definitely felicitate you, ma'am. So, we would like to acknowledge the esteemed presence of Debashri Mukherjee, madam, through virtual platform. Maharashtra National Law University Aurangabad at Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar is one of the pioneer institutions imparting legal education, a diverse field and various disciplines of learning, and the law discipline being one of the core disciplines of learning in the university. Maharashtra National University Aurangabad is one of the national law universities in the country, one of the 26 NLUs in the country, and it is also one of the it's also the third NLU in the state of Maharashtra. The state of Maharashtra being the latest addition to the League of NLUs. The establishment of university has fulfilled the aspirations of not just the local residents, but also the residents of state of Maharashtra. The university has provided a platform to the residents of the, not just state of Maharashtra, but also of the residents of the country to hone their skills through legal education and contribute to the legal profession. The university runs a wide range of courses such as BLLB Honors, BBLLB Honors, LLM course, BBMBA in Law and Management, MBA in 4 disciplines, PhD, LLD, and PG Diploma in Water Laws, Policy and Governance. This course is in its second edition now, PG Diploma in Water Law, Policy and Governance. In order to address the present needs and challenges surrounding water as a natural resource, and to address the management and regulatory aspects of the water, the university has started this course in order to create wide awareness, publicity about the concerns attached with the water as natural resource, and also to create a sensitization or awareness amongst the stakeholders of the water as a natural resource in various fields, including governmental, non-governmental, and semi-governmental bodies and agencies. In the esteemed presence of the dignitaries on the dais and off the dais, We are embarking on a new phase of diploma course, that is the commencement of the second batch of PG Diploma on water laws, policy and governance. I am confident that the second batch of the students will take the maximum advantage of the course, the resources available and the curriculum framed for the course, and the same will hone and strengthen their skills, which will be useful to their respective professions which they have chosen or yet to choose in their respective profession in the times to come. So now I would like to request Honorable Vice Chancellor Sir to take the charge of the podium and kindly deliver his welcome address so that we can begin with the inaugural program of the second batch of PG Diploma on water law, policy and governance. Honorable Vice Chancellor Sir, I request you to kindly address the audience. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Ashok Wadje. Honorable Chief Guest of the function, Honorable Shri Santosh Dinarbarji, and Honorable, I say whether guest or is he host, I think Honorable Chief Host Ramchandra Bhogale Sahib, Mr. Bavaskar, and faculties, and mostly my friend who has come all the way from MP Law College, out of sheer a dedicated respect now for the embodiment of honesty, that is Suresh ji, a born Lord Suresh Prabhu ji. My dear students and friends and faculty, it's my great privilege today on this strong day, because all others are weekdays, to welcome the chief guest and other guests and also the audience. I heartily welcome the chief guest, Honorable Sri Suresh Ji Prabhu. As I said, he is a born Lord. And sir, it is said, honesty is such a thing which we always hear, but we have not seen. Shruyate, na tu drushyate. Yaha Suresh Prabhu ji, not only Shruyate, drushyate. We are seeing here, and we are really fortunate that he is here with us, who is an embodiment of honesty, and it is another name for honesty. But just now, see, I am recollecting Madhu Dandavate and others, and here is a person, sir. It's the rarest of the rare persons whom we have today, and it's a privilege to be our chief guest, honorable chief guest. And I also welcome Madam Devashri Mukherjee, who has taken the trouble of this Sunday being a heavy schedule, that to Jala Shakti, because Jala Shakti is now, you see, it has become, you see, a big water wars and water floods going on in the entire country. He is in the grip of the world. I mean, she being such a busy secretary who is present today for our inaugural function of the second postgraduate diploma program. I heartily welcome you, madam, for your presence. And I heartily welcome guest of honor, Sri Santosh Ji Tivanwar, and he is in fact the person who is managing Godavari here. I think he's the executive director of Godavari Marathwada Irrigation Development Corporation. I think this is the life of the people right from west to east, because it is here it is born, and of course it goes to Bengal. And I also welcome all others, and most importantly, a great friend of the university and a part of the university itself, and a benefactor of the university, and in fact, it's a rare combination. A born Ramachandra and a born Prabhu, it's Ramachandra Prabhu. It's a great combination that we have. It's in fact a unique combination we have today. And I'm really very happy, sir, to welcome you because it's only a formal welcome because he's always with us. In fact, you have to welcome me. In fact, it's otherwise now. So, well, friends, now today, I think, you see, I am here, I don't want to take much time because many people here, you see, have come to listen to our learned chief guest. But, you see, I think this is about, you see, water laws, policy, and governance. I think my friend Sri Rao Saab has asked me to, he did not say welcome speech, but he said welcome address. I think I have to speak something, you see, on this. On this means there is nothing. So about nothing what I can speak. There is no law, there is no policy, there is no governance. See, Panchabhutas are governed by Panchakshari. Panchakshari here is, I mean not to see Panchakshari of Om Namah Shivaya, but we the people of India. We the people of India, it is what we start to see our Constitution of India. And it has got to see control over Prithvi, Jala, Vayu, Akasha, Agni, Jala. And this Jala is the Jivandhara of our country. And you see, for human lives, I mean, you see, I think, you see, more 2/3 of our body itself contains no water. And you see, I think 3/5 of the earth also contains water. But is it water, you see, which is worth drinking? Of course, we have laws to govern, and the Constitution is a very big one. I think we have had the privilege of having a very voluminous Constitution, and commentaries running into some thousands of pages. And the constitutional aspect of water is contained only in 3 lines. That is in Article 362. That too not about law, but about how to control the use, distribution, control, and use. That means we don't have the resources, and and that too not to see where is distribution. It's only when the dispute comes, how to solve the dispute. And this is where is in fact, sir, see, the entire civilization is built on water. The civilizations started only at the riparian level. You can see Ganga, Jamuna belt and all these things. Wherever there is water, the civilization starts there. And now it has become, almost a reverse of that one. Where there are water, there is war. Now it's the question of war as far as water is concerned, and everywhere. And if you don't properly manage, Kerala is the best example for us. Every 3 months we have this problem with water only, excess water. And Marathwada is another example. However, much water may be there, we don't have water here to drink. And that too potable water. I mean, these are the problems. And so we have 262 as for adjudication of disputes are concerned. Even before we bother about the resource, we start about the dispute. But we forget to see about one of the most important aspect of it is because the life source of, the life is water. And 51A of the Constitution, it lays down the fundamental duty, that is 51AG. It shall be the duty of every citizen of India to protect and improve the natural environment, including forests, lakes, rivers. And this, of course, many of us forget, and we are unfortunately, the polluters. Let us not hide anything, because we pollute the water, and we contaminate the water, and we make the water unsafe for ourselves. This is most unfortunate thing. Now coming to the other aspects of this one, I am talking only about the constitutional aspects only because I don't want to deprive you of hearing our great chief guest and others. Entry 7, it deals with the water, which is a state subject. The state alone is solely responsible, and also it has got the power. And particularly it has water supplies irrigation and canals, drainages, embankments. Why I am emphasizing each one? Because each one is neglected by all the states. The states deliberately are neglecting because everything they politicize. They don't bother about the citizens. Irrigation, canals, drainages, embankments, water storage, water power, subject to the provisions of subcourse something. So this is where most of the states now have almost, I can say, they have failed. That's why, the purpose of this course is to see that, the purpose of the water resources are, properly, navigated for better management, but better water management. The policy should be such. If you have a policy, the law can help, and law can enforce, and law can implement. Then list 156, that is union list. It says about the regulation and development of interstate rivers and river valleys to the extent which such regulations. So here Parliament has got no complete control as far as the interstate rivers are concerned. So those rivers which are confined within a state, which of course is very difficult because these days which have got to see the Jeeva Nadis, what we call, they are interstate. And within the state, of course, the state has got solid state, but also it has got to see implications, consequent implications for the riparian states, lower riparian states. Now take for example, the interstate rivers like Godavari. It starts in the west and ends in the east, and it goes to some 3-4 states. And here lies the problem particularly of dispute, how the dispute arises. Now we see more and more water is needed for irrigation, for drinking water. And the upper riparian states, they are in a position to control the flow. And when there is no flow, there is no, there only the problems come. When there is excess water, that also they don't know how to manage. The result is, it results in the floods. And the lower riparian states, like Andhra Pradesh, they suffer, the damage of these floods. This is how it's happened. That's why I think they have created initially, Krishna, Godavari, and Narmada. These are the boards, particularly they have created this. Similarly, they have also Kaveri, river water tribunals. They had to create, because Parliament alone has got the power. Even these tribunals' verdicts were also not properly followed by some states. Because so that's why, particularly this has happened with regard to Kaveri. You must have heard about the dispute between Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. And this has gone beyond certain proportions. Even today also the Karnataka and the Tamil Nadu people, they still fight only on this Kaveri river water. So these are the things which we are not in a position, and deliberately the jurisdiction of the Supreme Court as a federal court, its jurisdiction also was taken away. And these tribunals which are created by the Parliament, they have got the full powers. And the jurisdiction of the Supreme Court is taken away for the reason that, as today you must have seen, Chief Justice Chandrachud has said, the litigation process or law process is always being abused to abuse the justice system. Because if you have got any grudge against anybody, simply go to the court. That is enough. And it will not be settled till your grandson stage. So if river water disputes also they come, if you go to Supreme Court, they will never be settled. And the people who go on suffering. Therefore, the constitution framework, they said, let it not go under Article 131 of the Constitution of India as interstate disputes or federal disputes. So they have created a tribunal. Even the tribunal's orders also were not properly conformed by at least Tamil Nadu state. The result was the Supreme Court again has to intervene and said that whatever tribunal says is final. Why it was given to the tribunal and not giving it to the court? Court means the process is so prolonged and you won't ultimate, justice, delayed justice is justice denied. So to avoid that one, in tribunals, instead of purely legal consideration, you can have equitable considerations also, and see considerations of convenience, and whereby the states can come to a settlement, and that to equitable settlement because they can make some adjustments. And for gentlemen, I can tell you today, and no state is prepared to make any such compromise with regard to the water disputes. That's the reason tribunals also have failed. The Supreme Court also has failed. And you have seen see how the things are going on. Sutlej, Yamuna. Punjab government has made a solemn promise to Haryana. And even today, see, they are not giving the waters of Sutlej. So is the Kaveri also, though dispute is going on, nobody. And see, still you see these problems will arise. And see, now it is not, see, the future, I mean, we'll be facing more problems. So what I mean to say is we have to lay down, see, a policy, or at least we have to make, see, management so that there can be an equitable distribution and there can be some healthy dialogue between the states. And that is where, you see, your federal structure can become, you see, a very healthy one. Instead of what we call making a cooperative federalism, it can be transformed into organic federalism because it's a biological organ. One is meant for the other. You can see how we see the groundwater, particularly in Marathwada South region. It is becoming fluorosis because people are suffering from bone diseases. And there is no solution for this. And no state takes interest in it. See, that's why, see, it's the most important one. And see, I think, see, at least we in our university, by introducing this course, we want to see project know that these are the problems. At least those who are in a position to implement and those who are in a position to make the policy, at least these things will reach to them so that people can have at least some water, which is most essential to the life of the people. With these few remarks, once again, I heartily welcome you, sir. And I thank you all for listening to me patiently. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. As always, we are truly honored to have you and to listen you. Your constitutional insights, your experiences of various states and contemporary perspective on water law, policy and governance. I'm sure these inputs will definitely help the upcoming batches to and the esteemed audience present here to take away from the sir's speech. Now, we won't be able to do justice to the program unless we know the technical background of the course, the objectives of the course, the first experience of the course, and the technical nuances of the course, which shall be enlightened to us by Mr. Rao Sahib Bavaskar, who is the program director and who is the architect of this program, who has taken a lot of efforts in and penning down numerous objectives and vision for the program. So, in this regard, I would like to request Mr. Rao Sahib Bavaskar to kindly enlighten us about the background, experiences, and objectives of the course to the audience present over here. Mr. Bavaskar ji.
Thank you, Dr. Ashok sir. Honorable Sri Suresh Prabhu sir, Honorable Devasri Mukherjee ma'am, Honorable Santosh Trimanwar sir, Honorable Ram Bhogle sir, Honorable Vice Chancellor sir, Honorable Registrar sir, dignitaries, colleagues, friends and students. Being a coordinator of the program, when I planned this inauguration of this second batch, earlier we had decided 20th of July, and Prabhu sir said I am out of the country and I may not be available physically on the campus, but I will join online. I said, sir, 2 years back we already hosted you online and we want you physically on the campus. So we'll postpone the event till further date, you give a further date. So sir said, okay, we'll come on 4th of August and sir is there. As a coordinator or host, you are always under pressure or tension unless you see your guest on the dais. And today I'm happy that all my guests are there on the dais. So, your same happened with Devasri ma'am. Till yesterday evening, she was saying, this parliamentary session is going on, and I may not be available for the session. And yesterday evening, 8 o'clock, I was like lost the hope that she may not join. But I think last moment try. So at 8 o'clock, I called her, ma'am, you should be there. She said, okay, I'm there, and I will be joining. So this kind of experience, it gives us like lessons, or we can say some kind of inspiration also. If you try hard, things will get positive. As per this program is concerned, we started this program, postgraduate diploma in water laws, policy and governance last year. And when this program, when we are thinking about launching new programs, and I already worked with Water Policy Center earlier, so I was thinking somewhere connected with law and water. Somehow these themes came in mind, and then water law, policy and governance kind of program we projected or presented before our former or earlier Vice Chancellor sir. And he said, this program is, well, you go with that. And we started this program. In the very first batch, we enrolled only 7 candidates. With 7 candidates, I was like a little bit disappointed whether we can go with this course. 7 candidates, really less number for such a national important institution. Then our, we can say, Honorable Vice Chancellor sir, Registrar sir, they said you just push this program. It's a very good program. Student will come, people will join. We continued this program, and today for the second batch, we enroll almost 25 candidates for the program. And I hope in coming years, it's not just enrolling the students. It's enrolling more number of students means we are reaching more number of people, more number of audience. And this program is basically designed those who are interested, those who are working professionals, those who are interested in water. Because we hail from this region which is always water stress region, water drought prone region, which needed water most, think water most, work on water most. And therefore, being in such a region, it was our duty, it was our responsibility as being a national law institute to start a program on such a important issue, and that's the reason why we started this program. And this water laws, policy and governance kind of program is a unique program, the only program in India existed. Yesterday we were discussing, and even Honorable Suresh Professor was saying, I seen this kind of program is only in your university, and sir has given various ideas. Yesterday we were discussing in Hotel Ajanta. He has given a lot of ideas how you can develop and build a network to reach larger audience as well as to reach larger to the society. So with this program, as the brochure is already with you, I will not talk much on this program. The technicalities of the program. It's a 1-year blended mode program. Those who can, while pursuing other programs or other responsibilities, you can join this program and can be a part of this program. I would also like to acknowledge the support and appreciation of our esteemed faculty members, drawn from based in academia, government, and industry. They dedicated their efforts for the program. On this occasion, I would also like to mention few names or mention some people who supported this program. And I take this opportunity to extend my gratitude to mention Dr. D.S. Chaskar, who is Head and Chief Engineer of National Water Academy, Pune. Dr. Sanjay Belsare, who is the Secretary of Water Resource Department, Government of Maharashtra. Our former Vice Chancellor, Professor K.V.S. Sarma. Dr. Saraswati Unne, who is the Director of Water Policy Center. Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor A. Lakshminath, Registrar, Professor Dhanaji Zado. These all people directly, indirectly supported this program, appreciated this program, and given guidance. They even supervise this program, so thereby this program can be successful. We have received students. In very first batch, the enrolled students were like officers of Water Resource Department of Government of Maharashtra. One was like advisor to the Chief Minister of Telangana government. This year we have a mix of students from mix of areas, or officers from Water Resource Department, retired people, students, fresh candidate students. So it's a mix of cohort this time. And this establishment of this diploma program also signifies our broader, we can say, commitment to the legal education and capacity building in water sector. And the collaboration with Water Policy Center, one of the think tank in Aurangabad, which is dedicated to the sustainable water policy research and advocacy. So this partnership foster to promote, galvanize this program. And therefore, we are here today to introduce the second batch of this program. And I'm happy to say that apart from the students enrolled, apart from the other people or university people, outside, whenever we meet other people and in the society, those who are like aware about the water, those who are interested in the water, they're appreciating these efforts. They're appreciating their willingness to support and give their, we can say, contribution for the development of this program, as well as to contribute something for the water program. With this, I may say that we will not be limited to only for the academic programs, but to contribute on the actual field of the water sector. In this, my concluding, I may say, I would like to emphasize that water is not just an academic pursuit. It is a vital endeavor that has profound implications for our societies and our planet. And as we embark on these efforts, we need to think critically, we need to engage deeply, and we need to, we can say, collaborate openly with society, industry, academia, and for this, we can come together. Once again, I thank you all and welcome you all for this program. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Bhaskarji, for your insights and technical specifications about the course. I'm sure it must have helped the second batch of students to know more about the course. As we have already acknowledged the esteem and learned presence of the honorable guests, and as we await their scholarly insights to be heard from the esteemed guests, and by giving due regard to your eagerness to know more about the guests, now I would like to request one of our student, Ms. Avina Mishra, to kindly introduce our chief guest, our guest of honors who are present in person as well as through virtual platforms. Avina Mishra, I request you to kindly introduce. Over to you.
It is with great enthusiasm that I introduce our guest of honor, Mr. Santosh Tirmanwar, sir. Sir embarked on his illustrious career with a Bachelor of Engineering in Civil Engineering from VJTI Mumbai in 1989. His journey took a significant leap in 1992 when he was selected by MPSC into the Maharashtra Services of Engineers, assuming the role of Assistant Executive Engineer Class 1 in the Water Resources Department. Over a remarkable 16-year tenure as executive engineer, Sir left an indelible mark on some of the most ambitious dam projects in Marathwada region. His expertise was instrumental in the development of major projects such as Jayakwadi, Upper Penganga, Lower Dudhana, Upper Kundalika, and Lower Tarna, each contributing to the region's vital water infrastructure. His career trajectory then led him to a transformative role as Deputy Secretary in the Mantralaya for 3 years, where he played a vital role in administrative and policy advancements. Following this, he served as Chief Engineer for the Konkan region for 2 years, overseeing crucial infrastructure projects, and then as a Chief Engineer of Quality Control and Hydropower projects, ensuring high standards and innovative energy solutions. Currently, Sir is making significant strides as the Executive Director at GMIDC, a role he has embraced for the past 1.5 years, continuing to drive excellence and innovations in infrastructure development. We welcome you, Sir, to share your insights with us. Thank you.
Sri Honorable Chief Guest, Sri Suresh Prabhuji, sir. Guest of Honor, Honorable Debashri Madam, Honorable Lakshminathji, Sri Bogle Sirji, distinguished guest, esteemed colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. It is a profound honor and privilege to stand before you today as the guest of honor at this inaugural program of second batch of the PG Diploma in Water Law, Policy and Governance. This occasion marks a significant step towards addressing one of the most critical challenges of our time, ensuring and the sustainable management and equitable distribution of our precious water resources. Water is the lifeblood of our planet. It sustains ecosystems, supports agriculture, fuels industries, and nourishes communities. Yet, we are confronted with the stark reality of water scarcity, pollution, and inequitable access that threatens the well-being of millions and hampers socio-economic development. The urgency to act has never been greater, and it is through gatherings like this that we can forge the path to a more sustainable and equitable water future. Water law and management are crucial for safeguarding one of our most vital resources. Effective water laws establish a framework for the allocation, use, and conservation of water resources, ensuring that they are managed in a sustainable and equitable manner. These laws address issues such as water rights, pollution control, and the protection of aquatic ecosystems, balancing competing demands from agriculture, industrial, and domestic users. By proving legal clarity and regulatory mechanisms, water laws help prevent conflicts, promote efficient use, and foster long-term sustainability. They also play a key role in guiding policy decisions, shaping water management strategies, and ensuring compliance with environmental standards. In addition to legal frameworks, robust water management practices are essential for addressing the complex challenges associated with water scarcity, quality, and distribution. Effective management involves the integration of scientific research, technological innovations, and stakeholder participation to develop comprehensive strategies for water conservation, infrastructure development, and disaster preparedness. By adopting a holistic approach that considers the interconnections between water systems and human activities, water management ensures that resources are utilized efficiently and equitably. This is particularly important in the face of growing populations, climate change, and environmental degradation, which amplify the pressures on water resources and necessitates proactive and adaptive management solutions. The program should focus on integrating traditional knowledge with modern technology, promoting community participation, and fostering international cooperation. We must explore the innovative solutions of water conservation, wastewater treatment, and the development of resilient infrastructure. The role of education and public awareness cannot be overstated, as informed citizens are the backbone of effective water management. In this context, I would like to emphasize the importance of interdisciplinary approaches. Water management intersects with various fields: environmental science, economics, law, sociology, and engineering. By embracing a holistic perspective, we can develop strategies that are robust, adaptive, and sustainable. Let us also acknowledge the role of policy and governance in water management. Effective policies are grounded in scientific evidence, transparent decision-making processes, and strong institutional frameworks. We must advocate for policies that incentivize sustainable practices, protect water bodies, and ensure the right to safe and clean water for all. I express my sincere gratitude to Maharashtra National Law University and Shri Rao Sahib for their tireless efforts to bringing us together. I am confident that this program will inspire innovative ideas, foster meaningful collaborations, and pave the way for transformative action in water management. Thank you for inviting me and giving this opportunity.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable insights. Today, we are honored to hear from an exceptional individual who has achieved remarkable milestones. Let's give a warm welcome to Debashree Mukherjee, ma'am. Ma'am is an IAS from 1991 batch and is currently serving as Additional Secretary in the Department of Water Resources, River Development and Ganga Rejuvenation within the Ministry of Jal Shakti, which has been recently added to the portfolios of ministry considering the significance of water. She has been promoted to the position of Special Secretary in the same department. Ma'am's career includes significant roles such as Joint Secretary at the Prime Minister's Office, CMD of Delhi Transport Corporation, CEO of Delhi Jal Board, and Secretary of Social Welfare and Children and Women Development for the Government of Delhi. Her academic credentials include an MA in Linguistics and English from Jawaharlal Nehru University and an MSc in Water and Environmental Management from Loughborough University. We welcome you, ma'am. We are confident that your presence and remarks will greatly motivate and uplift us as we enter this new phase.
Due to some exigency, Honorable Madam could not stay back in the program, so we can move ahead with the address by Honorable Chief Guest of the program.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is my great pleasure to introduce our esteemed guest, Honorable Shri Suresh Prabhu Sir, for today's event, who has graced us as a chief guest. Sir is a politician, able administrator, and a true visionary. He is the founding chancellor of Rishihood University, Sonipat. Professor Prabhu has been in the Indian Parliament since 1996, first as a member of Parliament in the Lok Sabha for 4 consecutive terms and later as MP in Rajya Sabha. He is currently serving his 6th term as a parliamentarian. He has held 10 important portfolios at the federal level in the Government of India, including industry, power, environment and forest, railways, civil aviation, commerce and industry. He was India's Sherpa to G20 and G7. He has held several government and semi-governmental positions that includes the chairmanship of Maharashtra State Finance Commission, Saraswat Cooperative Bank, among others. He is a part of various global organizations and strategic dialogues, including the Global Water Partnership, World Economic Forum, United Nations Development Programme, Asia Energy Forum, United Nations Committee of Biodiversity, and is also a member of the Board of Advisors of India's International Movement to Unite Nations. He has been constantly featured in the list of top 5 ministers in India from 2014 to 2017. In terms of both performance and accessibility in nationwide surveys conducted by various institutions. He was the second best performing minister in India's today's report on the performance of key minister of Government of India. He was awarded Indian of the Year in 2017 and was declared Best Member of Parliament in the 13th Lok Sabha by Aaj Tak. He was also featured among top 3 Indian leaders of the future in the cover story of September 2000 issue of the Hong Kong-based Asia Week magazine. We welcome you, sir. Your presence and address will undoubtedly inspire and motivate us as we embark on this new chapter.
I thought I will start the program by saying good morning, but I think this is the time to say good afternoon. So, good afternoon, friends, and really appreciate this opportunity of visiting such a great university, and I thank the Honorable Vice Chancellor as well as all the faculty members as well as my colleagues, and of course all my young friends for enabling me to be here and actually be able to talk to you. The university had decided to make me a visiting distinguished professor. And therefore, so far I had not professed my commitment in an adequate manner. So today I am fulfilling my duty of being here at least in person. And therefore I am very happy. And also congratulate the university as well as those who thought about such a fantastic program like Mr. Bhaviskar on a theme of water. So today the program has got 3 different contents: laws, policy and governance. Why do you make law to begin with on any subject? When you want some sort of a sensible approach towards any activity, the society thinks that we really need to work on this in a particular way, and therefore the laws are made. Laws are also deterrents to prevent anything that society considers as not right. And therefore the Indian Penal Code now, which has been replaced by the new Code of Law, will give complete description about what is constitutes an offense, criminal offense. And those criminal offenses will be punished in a particular way. So there are so many laws that we have made from time to time, but each of the law must be conformed to the Constitution of India. And that's why you correctly mentioned that Constitution of India deals with it in a manner that today we think, why did Constitution not think about making law as a fundamental right? Why did the constitutional framer did not think that water, environment, air should be the fundamental rights of the citizens of India, like some other rights? Because the framers of Constitution ever thought that after enjoying freedom, we'll manipulate the resources in such an absurd manner that today we'll face such huge consequences of that inaction or wrong action. And therefore today we are in a situation that water has become one of the most important part of public policy. Should be, it has not yet become, but should become part of public policy, as well as should be a cause for very urgent action. And therefore, this is something on which we must make a proper law. But to make a law, first we should know what is, as is correctly said, what is the practice of water. And if you understand that better, then we can decide how to make laws, how to create a governance structures, and we can work on that. So I'm very glad that you all, the students who are going to pursue this course will apply your minds to all these issues. So looking at from Indian context, we have a big challenge because we are only 4% of the fresh water of the world and 17% of the population of the world. So you can imagine the small resource is going to be used by a large number of people. Again, the water is the source of agriculture and therefore food. You cannot, many industries you cannot run without water. Services. Many of the service sector activities of India cannot be carried out without water. Can you run a hospitality industry without water? It is not possible. And therefore, water has implications on economic activities of India, whether it's agriculture, whether it's services, or whether it's industry. But there are other dimensions of water. Because same resource, such a small resource has to be used by a large number of people. The same small resource has to be used by multiple sectors of economy, but same resource has to be used by all the people of India. And that's a question of equity. Are we able to give water to all the people in adequate manner? Some people, it is a very travesty of justice that people living in the slums have to buy water. So people think that those who live in slums get everything free. They buy water by the bucket. And therefore they have to actually struggle to survive. So water also is a human right issue. You cannot live without water and therefore water is not made available. And the poor suffer more than the rich. So it has a implication on equity of the society. And as I said, that water also has another important use besides economic activity, and that is for ecology. We don't provide water, the forest won't survive. And if forests are not there, how will we get the water to begin with? Because if you don't understand that water cannot be manufactured, you can desalinate it, you can recycle it, but you cannot manufacture water. You can do it in a laboratory. Some of the science students will say, yes, we have done water in a laboratory, we have done. But that scale of water that the world would need, we cannot manufacture. And therefore, if you cannot manufacture, how do you then get water? You get it because of the nature. If there is no nature, there is no water. And that nature will not survive unless water is provided back to the nature. For forest, for wildlife, they need water. So just imagine, without water, we cannot survive, and water cannot be available unless we take care of nature. And therefore, that again is another very important implication. So to complete take off note of all this, we have to understand that this is the very, very broad canvas on which water policies have to be working. So if the source is limited, then you take from one, you cannot drop the Peter and pay the Paul, as you say. So if you want to give more water to industry, for example, you have to take it for agriculture. Because agriculture, in a way, today, more than 80-85% of the water in India is used for agriculture. So if you want for any other use, the water should go, then we'll have to find out how that source can be. You can divert the source from one to another because source is the same. Now, my dear friend, Santosh Tirmarwarji, he looks after Godavari Basin. So he has to divert water to drinking water purposes, then he has to take it from agriculture. Or he wants to take it for some other purpose, maybe for industry, then again he has to divert from either the households or from somewhere else. And that's a challenge of water, that multiplicity of users, several sectors depending upon the same source, and therefore these are the inherent conflict which are already there in this water sector. Because we have to share something is always a problem. Like Vice Chancellor has kept in front of everybody some small little things to it. But there's only one, and everybody has to comment it from there. There would obviously be a dispute that we should get it, how much should get it, what I should get it from that plate. But so if we have the same source and so many people want to get it and that source is scarce, limited, is not infinite, then we have a big challenge. And therefore, this is the biggest part of the water issue. Again, the second aspect is, the Constitution rightly said, that was actually a right way to look at it, that water is a state subject. For a good reason. If I would go further and say water should not even be a state subject, it should be a local authority subject. The local panchayats state should have more right on water than the government sitting in the state headquarters. But to do all this, the source is not created by the governments. Either the federal government or the state government or local government cannot create water. It is created by nature. So nature flows a particular kind of river system which goes from one state to another. Then obviously every state would say, I want more water. And a bigger problem will be the upper riparians. The upstream states would say, I will not leave the other water down. So downstream will not get anything, lower riparian will not get anything, we'll keep everything. So the Constitution realized that this is going to be a big challenge. Therefore they said interstate water disputes will arise and how to deal with them. And as you correctly said, Parliament has been given the right to create tribunals and also not, sorry if I use the word wrongly, not tribunals but turbulence. I didn't. So tribunals have to be created and work on this particular way. But even there is another dimension. The rivers that flow in India, the most of the rivers, the most important rivers, they originate from outside India. Incidentally, the Tibet is the source of most of the water going to the 40% of humanity. Either in Southeast Asia, which feeds the Mekong Basin, it comes from Brahmaputra going down. When it goes to Bangladesh, they change the name of the river. In China, they don't call it by other name. Of course, China, the river flow of Brahmaputra is just origins there. Not substantial part flows down. But point is international rivers. So there is international dimension. Because we created Pakistan in 1947, before that there was one country. So there was one of the important aspect that the partition was sharing of water. And therefore it was said that Pakistan should get water from India because the rivers are flowing from there. And if there is any dispute, the World Bank would work as an arbitrator. So this is one aspect that we don't have to deal with as the students, but you should keep this in mind. The international dimension of the river is not only interstate, but is an international dimension to water availability in India. For example, when I was looking at interlinking of rivers, and my dear friend Priyana Nagade was that time professor of visit here. So he had invited me to speak. If I remember that time only you were invited. And I was saying, just imagine, we actually did something very interesting. I don't know, we have limited time, but just let me just take in half a minute. We did, that particular time, we did a remote sensing of the origins of all the rivers. I asked ISRO to do it. Dr. Kasturi Rangan was head of that, my good friend. And we found out that China was trying to put some dams so that we'll not get water at all downstream. And then, of course, we worked on it in a different way. But point is, if somebody stops water upstream, nobody will get anything down. And this is not only in Asia. The Nile River, which flows from several African countries, and Ethiopia wanted to put some dams. They already put actually. So all Sudan, Egypt, they were saying we will not get anything at all because we are low riparians, but we are right. So in water policies, the rights of people, rights of countries also have to be properly put in. That's a legal issue. Of course, today I cannot cover all these issues because then otherwise it will take several days. And because I'm a visiting professor, I'm only visiting today, but some other time I will come to give a distinguished lecture. So I will, but today, sharing of water is a very important issue. And the sharing between sectors, as I said, sharing between states. sharing between countries, very different aspects of the water, and therefore the laws have to be made. And as I was saying, why do you need laws? Because if for such a complex issue, if we don't properly codify it, there will always be a challenge. But codification on this subject is more difficult than in any other subject. Because when you say water is local, which actually is a reality, so those who are living on the bank of the river, if they say that I have a right because I am living next to the river, nobody else should get water, then what happens? And they're right that I am sitting just next to it. In fact, all the civilizations, all the civilizations, whatever civilization you call them, in the world, the civilizations started because they settled on the banks of the rivers. Obvious reason. When we became agriculture society 11,000 years ago, world never agriculture society. So agriculture means we have to do something farming. How can you do without water? And that's why I was saying 85% of the water. Can you do agriculture without water? Impossible. And therefore civilization, they've settled there. But just if we accept that as a principle that those who are next to river only have the right to the water, then how can others survive in the world? Because source is the same. Then there will be another dispute. Those say, I am living on the bank of the river closest. Somebody may be stowing 100 meters away. He'll say, no, he has more right. So therefore we have to deal with this law issue of codifying it in a very judicious manner. And for doing that, we need a lot of consultation. You cannot make any policy without consultation. I have done 5,000 meetings all over India when I look at Inaugural River to understand people's concerns, states, why they want. I've met all the farmers' organization. I've met everybody. So today, one of the reasons I was suggesting it to your professor yesterday, that you must set up a center of excellence in this university for water. And the center of excellence must have outreach. You create a portal in which you get all the stakeholders involved into this process and actually start talking to them, and then we'll be able to understand. And therefore I told him to come here. He of course lives here now. That how to actually take all the different stakeholders on the subject, so then only we can make a proper law which is accepted to the people. You can always make a law which is not accepted by the people. As you correctly pointed out, Vice Chancellor earlier, the tribunal judgments have been flouted for a simple reason, is that law which cannot be accepted by the people as their possibility of the day-to-day life will never be implemented in the right spirit. And therefore we must make that. Now, there are some other aspects which goes beyond this, and very interestingly, and as my friend Santoshji mentioned, multidisciplinary approach is necessary for water issues. Because there is an issue of water quality. When you come to potable drinking water, today most 2/3 of the diseases of India are waterborne diseases. And 1/3 of the fatalities that happen is because of waterborne disease. So you can understand the implication of all this. The children suffer. So UNICEF was involved and trying to test that what the water quality is an issue. So that again is a different kind of issue. But in addition to, so that again will be a new dimension for this. Other aspect of this would be, that's why the Damodar, Godavari basin, in water, maybe going from one state to another state, but nature has made that way. So nature was born before man was born. If the man was born before nature, nature would not have existed anyway, because man would have finished everything. But of course, whether man would have been created without nature is a different issue. But point is, nature has created a particular way of doing it. So therefore, basin-wise management of water is very important. You cannot do it fragmented way. You cannot say that, okay, Tamil Nadu will manage in one way and Karnataka will go the other way. Or in Godavari, you cannot say Andhra Pradesh has more right or Orissa. So this cannot go on like that. So basin-wise management of water is very important. But there's other aspect is storage of water. Like nature has created some storages. River is a storage of water. Because when water falls, it flows to the river, so people can use it for a longer period. Lakes are reservoirs created by nature. But then we have such a great people, we destroyed all the lakes. And some of the rivers are dried up. So if you go to Yamuna, Yamuna is supposed to be flowing into Delhi. But it flows into Delhi only when there is flood. But that flood does not bring water to Delhi, it brings all kinds of disposable that have gone upstream, they comes to Delhi. But so therefore the water storage is an important issue because in India, almost 85% of the water precipitation that comes from rainfall. Unlike in other countries like US, they also get melting of snow, which results into flowing of water like Mississippi. But in India, most of the waters come from rainfall. And that happens for a few days in a year. At best 10, 15 days of good quality rainfall. Nowadays, that is another aspect that we should think about, relationship between climate change and water. Of course, now there's, as I said, we cannot go on talking about all the issues, so therefore I mentioned, but it's another aspect. And in that climate change, this is going to be very, very common. That it will be rain too much for 8 days and there will not be any rain at all for another part of the year. Unlike other time in the past, when there was a little bit, some sense in the way the water was falling. So, but even then, we need a storage of water. Because it is falling only for 50 days, you have to go for 365 days, then you need storages. Storage means you need land. How can you have water without, how can you have storage without land? So there is a relationship between land and water. And therefore we must actually try to look at water issues even from a different perspective. So land, if there is no land, how can you have water? And India, land is even scarcer than water. We are 2.2% of the land of the world. So much of small land, so much of limited resource of water, and so much of demand coming from so many different sectors. Now, obviously, people will like to eat more food when they will earn more money. So we'll have to produce more food. To produce more food, more water will be required in agriculture. At the same time, people would like jobs because farmers don't want to work on the farms anymore. So that means we'll have to create more industry. More industry means more water. So how do you create this situation wherein water is limited, demand is unlimited, and it is available only in a particular period and going to be used for the rest of the year? How do you manage all this? Is also a technological issue. So therefore, not water technologies, but understanding is what he mentioned by this multidisciplinary approach is what we really need to put into place into your course. For those, my young students to understand that to deal with water, probably you'll have to be expert in everything. And to do that, the laws which we'll try to make over a period of time, we'll have to actually capture all these realities of water sector. And then there's other question of governance. That's a big problem because governance is always a big challenge. And people think governments can do governance. So we are good in creating governments. And after the 73rd and the 74th Amendment, we have created government at every village level also. Village, taluka, district, state, federal government. But governments don't necessarily mean governance. And therefore, in fact, it is always said that more the government, less the governance. So it is always, somebody has said, closer to, if you want to go to a place of worship, as you go close to that, you are going away from the God. So therefore, we have to make sure that how do you bring governance in such a subject in which policies which are framed, laws which are made, can be implemented. And that's a governance issue. And to do that, we need governance at all levels, whether it's village level to federal level. We have to create a proper governance structure for that. And they must be aligned to one another. And therefore, we have to work on that. Now, when talk about agriculture, see now, there is another issue. which you have to deal with in this particular aspect is a cropping pattern. Why should we produce a crop which is more water guzzling in an area where there is no water? Like in Punjab, we are now trying to develop, we are growing rice, paddy, by using groundwater. Rice is supposed to be a rain-fed crop. So you make it into when the rain falls, it makes sense. But if you are drawing groundwater and growing crops which are so water guzzling, you are actually creating your own grave, digging your own grave. And therefore cropping pattern will be another very important aspect of this. And if you change cropping pattern properly, we can actually use more water in a more efficient and very optimum way. So that is a very, very important aspect related to that. Of course, water conservation will be very important. Demand side management will be very important. Water and electricity has role. Now, in fact, when talk about groundwater, because to take groundwater out, we need electricity. And therefore, this is, you cannot, earlier they used to use hand pumps. Now hands have gone, because nobody, if you were using hand, they would have lost long time back, all the hands, right? Because they keep pumping, nothing comes out, because we already drawn so much of water. In fact, in some states, we are doing water mining, which is so hazardous. That means we are contaminating water with all those embodiments in the ground and by this. So you have to look at the morphology of soil, and therefore we have to work on this. And again, because I mentioned it, there is a need to have a groundwater law, because aquifers are actually storage of water under the ground. But just imagine when you are storing water in, say, Aurangabad, actually the water now may not be coming, you store it in Aurangabad because aquifer flows into in such a way, and the geomorphology is such that it can, because of slope, etc., it might be stored in this way, but it may be coming from Bid, or it may be coming from Nanded. I'm just giving example, I'm not just saying this, not necessarily it is the reality in this case. So now, if you say that where the water is stored, they have the right of groundwater, it is again going to create more disputes. And therefore, understanding the flow of groundwater is technological issue, but sharing of that and use of that water is going to be a very important issue. In fact, today, more groundwater is used in India for agriculture than surface water. And that's, of course, a big, big issue. Over a period of time, we are only postponing a problem to the next generation. But after some time, there will not be any water available for anybody. So groundwater management is important, groundwater governance is very important, and we should work on that. And therefore, law, policy and governance, they may look like three different things, but they are actually part of the same group of issues that we have to deal with together. And therefore, to make that, we'll have to apply ourselves very closely. I know there is more time than what originally thought for the conclusion of the program. So I would stop here, but I would say that we'll really work together to make sure that this particular program will create real water warriors who will not fight the war with somebody, because when you say warriors, they have to go and fight the war, but they will actually help preventing wars. Because it looks like the way we are going, the water is going to be the most contentious issue which can create more dispute than anything else. And therefore I was saying tribunals and turbulence. So I think there will be more violence than any other possibility coming out of water. And therefore I hope that you all, when you pass out, we would have looked at it in such a way that we'll be able to address the problem in a proper way. And the only way water issue can be solved is by water management. And management is always a challenge, because there are always trade-offs. Either you want to take from one and give to other, the trade-offs are there. So how do you make those trade-offs? Trade-offs can actually become very interesting way of solving the problem. For example, if one particular state is fighting, say Tamil Nadu fights from Karnataka, as he said, over a Kaveri water all the time. Hopefully good monsoon this time, so there would not be any problem this year. But otherwise there is always a problem. So just imagine the same can happen between two districts. Suppose, so therefore one district has more water and the adjoining district has to be shared, you share. Can one district and the other district have a trade-off so that they will, one district which is giving the water will benefit in some other form. So this is why we have to think about in the policy, the kind of trade-off that will create win-win situation which will avoid conflict and will benefit the entire society as a whole. So I think there are many aspects which I'm sure you will study, a 2-year course, right? 1 year, okay. So in year's time you'll look at it all aspects and I'm sure you'll be able to address all these issues together and make sure that we become a little, because you normally there's a fire, you say I'll put water so that fire will be doused. So there is a Hindi movie which said that if pani becomes the source, cause of fire, then what happens? आग और पानी का संगम हो तो क्या अंजाम हो, तो भी वो भी, that's a reality which is we are going to face. It looks like that, but all of you, I'm sure, you use water for the right purpose of dousing the fire and preventing a fire, and therefore this will not happen. Thank you very much. All the best to you. Congratulations for choosing a program.
Who would do better justice to the job than Honorable Shri Suresh Prabhuji, who himself is a lawmaker, policy maker, and a key person in the governance in the water sector. Sir has contributed a lot. I'm sure that sir, you're not a mere visitor. Your visit is with a vision, and this vision, I'm sure, we take it as an inspiration. We take it as key aspects and inputs for us. And definitely in all our respective roles, we will try to execute your inputs, your vision in the form of course, in the form of governance, and in the form of I myself being a teacher in the form of our teaching in the classroom. So this actually reminded me of the good governance as fundamental aspect of human rights, or good governance as human right, which has miserably failed before the apex court. I'm sure in the times to come it will be revived, and definitely it will contribute to the other side of the governance, that being in the administration. So, and at the same time, this was my personal ambition to know, to meet in person and to listen to your good self, sir. Today this personal ambition has also fulfilled by listening to your able guidance. So once again, I'm thankful, very thankful to you, sir, for sharing your valuable inputs and your experiences today with us. So with this, as we have come to the conclusion of the program, just to mark the presence of and to acknowledge the esteemed presence of the honorable guests and audience from various sectors, various strata of the society, various professionals and key persons in the government, I would like to request Honorable Registrar, Sir, Professor Dr. Dhanaji Jadhav, who is the Registrar of the University, to kindly deliver a vote of thanks. Sir, over to you, please.
Dignitaries on the dais, most valued invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me immense pleasure to propose vote of thanks of this inaugural session of 1-year water law policy and governance program. Today we are very fortunate to have such a eclectic and prolific speaker to inaugurate the 1-year program on water law and policy. Even though handled more than half dozens of portfolio in center government, but known for his academic and research contribution towards the country. At the outset, I thank Sureshji Prabhu, the chief guest of the today's function, who, despite of his very busy and tight schedule, accepted our invitation and made it convenient to be the part of this function and inaugurated this 1-year program on water law policy and governance. Sir has really traveled, and his entire professional odyssey touched upon both the aspect of academic research and politics. He has explored the dynamics and dimensions and as well as the intricacies of the water law governance in the country. Thank you very much, sir, for your prolific address. We are really gratified by the august presence of our own member of coordination committee, Sri Ramchandraji Bhogle, who is always there in ups and downs of the university to support strongly for every cause, including academic or administrative in nature. Thank you, sir, for your valuable and esteemed presence. We have with us Deboshri Mukherjee, Secretary, Ministry of Jal Shakti, who joined virtually for this function. I also thanks to Sri Santoshji Tirmanwar, Executive Director, Godavari Marathwada Irrigation Development Corporations, for exploring intricacies of water management. Thank you, sir, for your valuable guidance. I take this opportunity to thank Professor Dr. Lakshminath, a distinguished academician of our country, and Vice Chancellor for his valuable guidance and cooperations in entire arrangement and streamlining this function. We have with us many other dignitaries on the dais as well as off the dais. Priyanka Agde, who is a founder of EcoNeat and really known as water hero. Yesterday, we were discussing with the Prabhuji. Just to be accompanied with the Prabhu sir is itself is a learning experience. And the people, those who really worked hard and strive hard for water conservation and protection. We have with us of the dais Principal Dr. C.M. Rao, many distinguished academicians, and the people from Pollution Control Board, Pravinji Joshi is also there, and distinguished students. Thank you very much. At the last, I thanks to the course coordinator, Sri Rao Sahibji Bavaskar, for his esteemed coordinations in organizing this function. I thanks to the students as well as admitted students for this one-year water law policy and governance program. Thank you very much. And I expect a very memorable stay and a very memorable academic and professional ODC for all the admitted students of water law policy and governance. Thank you very much.
Now it's time for high tea. Students will be hosted on this floor, while our distinguished guests will be hosted in the boardroom downstairs. Feel free to explore the library. And following this, we'll gather for a special group photo with our esteemed guest, Mr. Suresh Prabhu sir.
Chancellor's
कॅबिनमध्ये सगळं